So the day of the fight, I don't think about it, but you feel this undercurrent of adrenaline. And he smelled kind of like a cat, you know, that kind of stinky adrenaline smell. So all day, I'm just kind of feel like I'm holding back all these horses. And then like right before you're about to get the hands wrapped and you start to let the horses go, that was a really good experience. It's like this big rush. I'm not aggressive. Well, maybe I'm aggressive. I'm not angry aggressive, but I like to push. I'm always pushing, kind of like a bulldog. It was never the winning that I was after, which might sound weird. So I don't have that winning thing about me. I just have this control thing about me. So I like to control the fight. I don't really care if I win or not.
I had pretty much a negative feeling for women in boxing. They certainly have the right. Then Andrea Nelson came to our gym, I think about a dozen years ago, progressed through real well, did a real good job as a boxer. She's the only female boxer from Wisconsin that really had a good number of matches and did a real good job. And now is a superb boxing instructor. She does an excellent job of pretty much running this whole program here. So my thinking, women in boxing has come probably close to 180 degrees.
So I've been competing in the martial arts for a while, and I was getting a little bored with it. I was state champion in weapons and empty hand forms for several years in a row. So I was looking for something more challenging, and on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight, Christy Martin was televised. It was the first time they'd ever televised a women's boxing match, and it had never occurred to me that I could do that. And I was watching, I was like, I could do that. I want to do that. I'd had some issues with domestic violence. I had a boyfriend when I was in my late teens that was pretty abusive. We were just doing a lot of stuff we shouldn't have been doing. I mean, lots of drugs, lots of drinking. I tried to move out. I moved out, and he tracked me down, kind of stalked me, broke into my house one night, basically tried to kill me. And he was like, you know, choking me, banging my head on the floor, and had a knife. And I think part of wanting that challenge, being in the ring, knowing that I could do that, was being able to fight that demon somehow. It made me feel like I needed to prove myself to myself. And if I was afraid of something, I would attack it. I've had actually more head injury back when I had that abusive boyfriend. I didn't really get hit that badly when I fought with the other women. I've had a few concussions. I felt like it was my sport, that I was a boxer almost as soon as I started doing it. It totally engulfed my whole life. I would eat, sleep, dream, live boxing. That's all I was doing. All besides being a mom. Ever since my kids were little, I was in the martial arts, and so they were just used to me always working out and always training, and I think they were pretty proud of me. They're pretty proud of it. I train hard still. I love to run. I still do hill sprints and stuff like that. I don't hit the bag much anymore. I have joint issues, elbow surgery, hip surgery, knee surgery. But even just working in the ring with my boxers is that's kind of an outlet. And you know, I can play. I can still move around. I still see this stuff happening. I don't take the shots anymore. Hi, girls. Hello. Oh, we got some food. Hello. The landscaping, working in the gardens of the prairie stuff, that's my other passion. So I think that balances me out really well. I like to have my hands in the dirt, being outside. It's really important. When we bought this land, there was a contract, a 5-year contract with the cornfield, and the contract was up, and I said, well, let's plant that into prairie. And then I went looking for prairie seed and got working for the nursery. And well, there's almost 90 acres. And it's a big cliff right there, lots of oaks. And I've got about 11 acres of prairie behind the house with a little creek, spring-fed creek. I worked for about 6 years doing prairie restoration work and seed and plant propagation. So, and I was already doing stuff like that around here, so I just had a lot of experience, and I just really loved being outside and doing that. So I was married. Was married for 20 years, and my husband left 2 years ago. So as part of leaving, he wanted to, get a little more money, and so he got some loggers to come and log the property, which I wasn't very happy about. Wasn't very happy about him leaving either. There was a lot of trauma and a lot of addiction in the family. We were both clean and sober when we raised our kids, and like really into the exercising and eating healthy and all that. But I don't think we ever really neither of us dealt with our underlying issues. Part of, I think, my drive and focus and compulsion to exercise was part of that addiction. And I've always had all these, dragons of self-doubt. And both of our kids, when they got to their teen years, got into drugs and alcohol, and pretty badly, pretty severely. In order to deal with our kids, my husband and I had to both really start dealing with ourselves. And I was ready to do it, but he wasn't. So we'd been married 20 years, and I had kind of figured that we were going to tough it out through the shit with our kids. But he just kind of left. I didn't even see it coming. And it changed my whole outlook on life. And I just realized that I had to kind of deal with a lot of emotional shit that I hadn't dealt with before. So my kind of obsessive, compulsive drive to do things, I don't really have that anymore.
Seeing a female boxer it motivated me a lot, because you don't see a lot of female boxers, especially in Wisconsin. Boxing actually does a lot for me. When I first came into boxing, I was really shy, I had stage fright. I just had really low self-esteem, not too much confidence. So it built a lot of my confidence.
She improved so quickly and lost all that weight, and just her whole demeanor changed, and that felt good to me, to know that I had a little influence in that. This was actually full. I had a couple of really big ones, and I gave them each to my kids. They did something wonderful, and they didn't get any awards, so that's why I quit burning them. But here's all my boxing memorabilia. I used to have it all up on the wall. Oh, I took it down, about a year ago. I was just going to throw them all away. And my boyfriend convinced me that I shouldn't. I'm glad I didn't. The trophies feel just empty. I almost feel like even if I win, it doesn't mean I did well. Things that give me a really good sense of that I've not even that I've done well, but just that I feel really good is when I planted like a prairie, and all the little seedlings are coming up, and I get rid of the things that I don't want in there, and it's just, that feels really good. For some reason, things that have to do with people, I have a hard time trusting. But things that have to do with the plants, it feels really good. Mm-hmm.